Let's now tell you that President Bola Tinubu held a closed-door meeting with the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Dikko. The sports administrator visited the presidential villa to brief President Tinubu on the progress made so far in sports this year, the year 2025, while seeking his approval for several other projects for 2026. The meeting, President Tinubu approved the constitution of the Board of Anti-Doping Agency of Nigeria in line with the regulations and requirements of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Dikko presented the president with a jersey on his visit while appreciating Mr. President's unwavering commitment to the advancement of Nigeria's sport and landscape. President Tinubu remains keen on harnessing the transformative power of sports as a unifying force and a formidable driver of socio-economic development.
The Sport Commission actually reports to Mr. President, so we came to brief him on what we have done last year. And there are so many approvals Mr. President have given, and so we had to brief him on the stage of execution and also the plans for 2026. And so far so good. Mr. President is very happy, he's very excited with the progress, and he's still giving the unwavering support and the push that we need to be able to deliver on the mandate to create a sports economy in Nigeria. Now he has approved that the board of the Anti-Doping Agency of Nigeria should be constituted, which is one of the conditions why want to see was achieved. Already Nigeria has been cleared and a clean country in sports, so we are really on the right track. And there are so many other approvals that Mr. President have given today that are for the benefit of sports going forward. Last year was huge. We made almost 375 medals across all sports. Contributed about 1.2% of the GDP in the third quarter of 2025. About 50 billion of private sector funding that have come in.
Chairman, National Sports Commissioner Shehu Dikko joins me live now from our studio in Abuja. Very pleased to have you with us this evening.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right.
To be with you.
Okay then. Well, let's start this way. You had a one-on-one interaction with President Bola Tinubu yesterday, and the conversation was centered on Nigerian sports. What are the expectations of the president, and what is his impression of you and your work since he gave you the assignment, of course, in relation to Nigerian sports?
Well, first and foremost, that Mr. President is very happy with the program. Excited that we need to do more. So we need to keep direction the sports is going in the country, is going in the right direction. And then what are the other things that are missing that need to be done quickly so that we can keep everything going together perfectly.
Indeed. Well, several billions of naira have been budgeted and approved for sports. We want you to tell us how these funds will impact sports development when released, and how they can also touch the life of the man on the streets.
Well, from what happened last year, if you look at the data, 375 medals that was won across all sports internationally. A lot of grassroots sport, a lot of international sports that were hosted in Nigeria. At the end of the day, how do you look at the impact to the man on the street? Is that there is now a pathway for people to do our young youth to go into sport and see that they can go to the best elite level they can. Sports is always a unifier in this country, breaks all our fault lines, make us one, make everybody to be more productive, by being happy when sport is being played. And indeed, and of course, if the economic contribution, in the last 2 quarters of last year, we did over 1% of the GDP for every quarter, which means that a lot of economic activities being driven by sports. Along the final analysis is the fact that We have like over 140,000 jobs were created in 2025, both directly, indirectly, and induced. So that's the kind of contribution sports does to the country, and indeed, even the PR to the country. Imagine the kind of positive PR we got from the AFCON, from the Tigers, from the Super Falcons, and all the other sporting teams that have been going globally to do the best for Nigeria. So the impact is multifaceted, and it cannot be really emphasized what sports done to the country. That is why the president is very passionate about it, is very intentional and deliberate about it, and doing everything possible to support us with all our ideas and all our vision to make sure we keep delivering and keep making it better on a sustainable level, so that we can have a proper sport ecosystem that works both on the sports side and the economic side as well.
Indeed. It's interesting you mentioned quite a number of things that need to be noted. 140,000 jobs, of course, generated, almost 400 medals won across different sports, and of course let me also add that about 50 billion private capital is also on record was generated. You want to tell Nigerians how where exactly these jobs came from, and how sustainable is the sports economy that you promised?
Well, of course, now any event you do, for sporting events you do, there are people that work there, right? Every competition you held, every league match, any other event you have, there are people who are getting employed or getting jobs, either permanent or temporary, through that process. So so long those sporting activities are ongoing, those jobs keep coming, keep earning money, earning revenues and income that they will go back to do their families. Let me tell you, for example, when we did the sport festival in Abeokuta, we put over 15,000 people in 2 weeks in Abeokuta. Can you imagine the economic activity that happened there? By the time the sport festival was closing, the marketers were closing, the people selling market around the stadium were crying because why? The jobs have been open for them, and they have made a lot of income that they can go and do other things. So that is how you deepen this sports activity, is by doing the sporting activities as regular as possible. This is the reason why we told all our sport federation that everybody must be involved in domestic activities and what have you, because that's the way to create and sustain these jobs. So that is how it is. And the more we expand on these sporting activities, the more we expand on the construction of facilities and everything, the more these jobs keep being created and being sustained.
Well, Mr. Chairman, it's one thing, of course, to have your sports budget approved, and yet another to have quick access to the funds when you need them. We remember what happened with the Super Eagles that had just concluded AFCON. And of course, Nigerians were very unhappy with that situation, as it were. Did you discuss this subject with Mr. President?
Yeah, of course, definitely. It's part of the reform and the resetting Mr. President is doing for sports. Remember, on February 6th, Mr. President announced that he has given specific approval to able to cure these kind of problems by giving clear-cut directives that and approvals to the relevant ministries, finance, budget office, and what have you, that appropriate budget must be put for sport, adequate budget must be put for sports in the budget, and then once the budget is passed by the National Assembly and Mr. President signs the budget, whatever fund is available for sports become automatically due immediately. So basically, that has put sports in the, we can say, first-line charge, because it means this funding will come ahead of time and even in advance. And even the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House, have endorsed this decision of Mr. President, because that is how we run sports. You can't run sports in arrears. You run sport in advance, because you need to get the money ahead of time to prepare and to go and compete. And sports is time-bound. You can't. Once you have a competition on a certain date, that day will come and you must participate in it if you are participating. So Mr. President have issued clear directives to cure that. And part of the conversation we held yesterday also at the meeting is how to deepen these approvals and how to give more other approvals to give more flesh and more definitive framework for these approvals that Mr. President have given, and he has also given those approvals that will ensure that this kind of deficit are eliminated. Even in the area of infrastructure, part of the approvals given is to now giving the Commission the possibility to explore the other agencies, DMO, Finance, to explore the possibilities of issuing a sports infrastructure development bond, so that bond can be able to access and bring in money upfront for the private sector or what have you, so that it can be invested immediately to make all of our sporting infrastructure the way they should be, to be in the best shape they could be, and then they can be managed properly, while the bond can be amortized over time. So all these kind of strategies are being put in play. So that's all that things, all these issues with the financing can be done. So Mr. President, in the short nail, he has, with his way of doing things, being bold, being decisive, and seeing the future, and trying to solve problems and to create opportunities and prosperity from solving the problems, have now reset the structure of sports funding in Nigeria as per 2026 budget, and hopefully let's see the implementation.
Indeed.
I'm sure all these issues will be a thing of the past based on Mr. President's approvals and directives.
Indeed. Well, it is good to hear. Of course, there are measures now, just as you mentioned, to ensure that we do not continue to experience this ugly situation at the national team. Well, the National Sports Commission, as we know, superintends or oversees all sports federations in Nigeria, and some federations have held their elections, and there are conversations that the Commission is handpicking and backing some candidates. How do you react to this?
No, of course, that has not happened with the way, we held the best ever sport federation election in recent history in Nigeria. We have held almost 38, 40 federations. Election has been held, and I think there was no any issue. There's nobody going out to cry. Nobody is going to court. Nothing like that. So, and we have got the right people in most of the federations. The right people are at the helm of affairs, and the right people are in the board. So we have created a level playing field for all aspirants, everybody to be there. That is why we held that kind of election that I don't think we have had anybody complaining. So if anybody at the back end is saying something different, well, it is what it is. But based on the final outcome and what can be visible and what can be measured, we have the best kind of elections ever. And that is why you see the quality of people that have come forward to take over federations. For example, we have the Minister of Finance, Community Minister of the Economy, coming to be the president of boxing. We have the CG of Custom, Bashir Adewale, coming to be the president of wrestling, Senator Don Combo taking the Chess Federation, and across board, you see all kind of quality people. Victor Oshe coming to be the president of tennis, and already you can see the outcome. In 19 years, we have not hosted the Davis Cup in Nigeria. Now
Indeed.
We have hosted it, and we have even won and now promoted to the next level. It's because we have the right people running the federations. And we have set a marker on how going forward this election should be held.
Indeed.
Sure we are all proud of that, and I must congratulate my DG Bukola Olapade, who drove that process on behalf of the Commission.
Indeed, Mr. Chairman. National Sports Commission Alhaji Shehu Dikko, live from our Abuja studios. I must thank you very kindly for sharing your thoughts with us on all these issues.
Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure.
We wish you all the best.